Good day there, once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, coming to you guys with some more Titanfall 2 content. Today folks, we're going to be reviving yet another series that proved to serve as a pillar of my content while I worked on PlanetSide 2 stuff exclusively. A couple of days ago, we brought the Quartermaster's Overview back from the dead, and today it is time for the Time to Gear Up series to come back from the dead also. Now just what is this series all about, I hear all of you guys asking. Well, this is the series where you can suggest a loadout for me to use in the comment section down below, whether it be as wacky as using a 997 at long ranges only, or as tryhard as the beloved stim and car combo pack, and the highest rated comment of the bunch will win its place in the series in the next episode. Now something else to keep in mind here is that the power of your comment isn't just limited to what's in the loadout either. You can also dictate how I use the loadout and throw some weird quirks into the mix to really mix things up and make things very, very interesting for each episode. Now considering that this is the first time we've seen this series on Titanfall 2, I've built up an absolute prick of a loadout called the Arsehole to get the ball rolling for us, and you will see why I've called it that very, very soon, but to give you all a bit of a hint, it involves a very certain wall that would go as far to make Donald Trump jealous. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road. For our primary weapon, we're going to be running the Spitfire LMG, the stock standard LMG available to all pilots upon entry to the frontier that sports a healthy rate of fire, damage output, and magazine size that makes it very competitive at locking down firing lanes, especially, well, when used in tandem with a certain pilot ability, but we'll get into that more a little bit later on. Our attachments are the HCOG Ranger, the Tactic Kill just so we can reward our efficiency by making a certain ability a little bit more ready, and extra ammo just for that little bit more DACA. Pro Screen is recommended for hashtag swag, but is also completely optional. For our secondary weapon, we have ourselves the Charge Rifle with quick swap and extra ammo equipped, because if there's one way to piss off a Titan in this game, it is by sitting behind, well, a certain ability, and using this weapon on the border of the map to cause maximum damage. Putting enemy pilots on tilt is also very easy to do with this weapon if your aim is on point, as you simply charge up the charge rifle and send a pilot straight to destination fucked. Now, I'm sure that all of you are wondering what this ability is that I keep mentioning. Well, some of you have probably already picked up on where I was going with this, or well, you've been watching the gameplay, but I'm of course talking about the A-Wall, which is also where the name of this loadout stems from. The A-Wall is really called the A-Wall due to its ability to amp projectiles that pass through it, but we all know it's really called the Arsehole Wall, hence why this loadout being called the Arsehole. But anyway, I digress. Sitting behind this and firing through it amps your weapons and gives you a huge capacity for destruction, which we will talk about in more detail in just a bit here. As for the offensive ordnance of this loadout, I found myself jumping between the Firestar and the Satchel Chargers, both in which provide their own fair share of ways to be a total dick to anyone who dare opposes you on the battlefield. The Firestar allows you to totally blind Titans if you aim it right, and completely cockblock pilots from walking through certain choke points, whereas the Satchels are just great for baiting people into scoring easy kills, and for scoring just a little bit of extra damage on enemy Titans. Wrapping up this loadout is the fast regen and low profile abilities, as they are the ones that get the most amount of use out of this type of build, because there's nothing quite like stealing a Titan's battery while they are completely unaware of it even happening. A total dick move, yes, I admit it, but it's just too much damn fun, let's be honest. So that's the loadout itself, and let's be honest, we all have our bad days out there. We come home from work, school, or maybe even from a first date, pissed off and angry, and there's nothing quite like being a bit of an arsehole to blow some of that steam that is built up over the day, and there's no other loadout out there that is quite as good as doing that as this one. With that said, however, using a loadout like this is going to change how you play Titanfall 2 drastically, which might feel very weird at first, but the payoff is very bloody rewarding. This is a loadout that requires you to be a whole lot less aggressive than how you would normally play Titanfall 2. For example, instead of charging for the front lines as the game commences, your focus should instead be on hanging back and finding a position to catch the charging enemies off guard. Normally in Titanfall 2, you would be aggressively zipping around the map looking for a fight. With this build, your movement should be a whole lot more passive. Instead of looking for a fight, you should be looking for a spot where the fight can come to to you. The Spitfire will often find itself outgunned in many CQC engagements that you would normally experience in Titanfall 2, so it's important to keep the initiative of a fight by being the person to start it, and with the Spitfire you are a whole lot more likely to keep that agenda by moving to find positions, not by moving to find fights. I probably could have explained that a lot better thinking about it, but you get what I mean, damn it. But if you do happen to get caught off guard in a battle, it's not all over. There is a way to turn the tide of the battle, and it's quite simple really. Plop an AWOL down between you and your enemy. See? Told you it was simple. For example, if you're moving around on a rooftop and someone starts shooting at you from behind or from any direction really, quickly put an AWOL down and watch as they mag dump your shield as you pummel them down with the heavy hitting rounds from the gods themselves. And trust me when I say that there is no faster way out there to put a pilot on tilt than to beat them by placing down an AWOL when they begin the engagement. Not only is it evil, but it's so damn satisfying and is the quickest way to get a salty message in the game chat. It is really good fun. But the only way you're going to be able to pull this off reliably is by ensuring that your AWOL is always ready when you need it the most. In other words, make sure you don't plop an AWOL down for the sake of it, and you are placing the thing down for a reason every time you do so. Sure, the tactical mod on your Spitfire helps to alleviate the issue of the recharge if you can get some solid kills, and there are also going to be times where you are caught off guard just through pure unluckiness. But doing your best to manage the use of the AWOL will make sure that you are more prepared for more situations in the long run. It does take quite a lot of game knowledge, game sense, and map flow knowledge to understand when to and when not to place down an AWOL, which will come with practice over time. For example, when you start the game on crash site and the two teams are about to clash on that small hill between the two spawn points, it's pretty safe to bet that you can put down an AWOL and you will reap the benefits accordingly. However, if you're about to corner peek someone and you're pretty sure you get the jump on them, then putting down an AWOL might not reap you the same amount of benefits. That's just one of the examples I can think of there. But by this point, I'm pretty sure you guys are now getting the general gist of this loadout. Be an arsehole, put enemies on tilt, and make yourself feel better after a shitty day at work, school, or whatever have you. And folks, with all that said, that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Time to Gear Up series, the debut episode for the Titanfall 2 branch of this series. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then a backhanding of that like button would be greatly appreciated. And guys, for the love of God, start voting and putting down your own loadout suggestions in the comment section down below. I've now gotten this series rolling. Let's keep the momentum and get some really hilarious loadouts into the mix there. Make me suffer, guys. Make me really suffer while I play Titanfall 2 with this series. That's what we did in PlanetSide 2. Let's see if we can continue it for Titanfall 2. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed today's video and you find yourself new to the channel, then consider subscribing to keep up to date with the content in which I'm releasing here. And as per always, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I'll be seeing you all next time. Have a good one.